Ukraine strikes the most advanced Su-57 fighter jet in Russia. On Sunday, Kiev's military intelligence agency reported that Ukrainian forces have damaged an advanced Russian Su-57 jet located within Moscow's internationally recognized territory, hundreds of miles from the front lines. The agency also noted that this is the first such case in history. In a statement issued on Saturday, the GUR military intelligence agency in Kiev reported that a Su-57 aircraft was attacked at the Akhtubinsk airfield in the southern Russian Republic of Astrakhan. According to the GUR, the site is approximately 365 miles from the current front lines in eastern Ukraine. The Russian Defense Ministry has been contacted by Newsweek for comment via email. On Sunday, one of Russia's influential military bloggers, who are frequently regarded as reliable sources for information on losses in the absence of official commentary from Moscow, reported that a Ukrainian drone had attacked the Akhtubinsk airfield on Saturday and that the Su-57 was damaged by shrapnel. The fighter-bomber Telegram channel has stated that the feasibility of its restoration is currently being assessed. Moscow has been eager to maintain the spatial separation of its fifth-generation Su-57 stealth aircraft from Ukraine's air defense systems. Su-57 fighters have not been a significant component of the Kremlin's air presence in Ukraine, in contrast to other warplanes that are used extensively in Ukraine, such as Russia's Su-35 aircraft. Since February 2022, Russia has lost 357 aircraft, none of which are Su-57 fighters, according to Ukraine. A small number of the aircraft are currently operational in Moscow, and the military is scheduled to receive over 70 in the coming years. Kiev Air Force spokesperson Ilya Yevlash stated in remarks cited by domestic media in late April that Russia has utilized its Su-57 fleet to a limited extent, but it is making an effort to maintain a safe distance from Ukraine. The British government announced in early 2023 that Russia had retained its Su-57 aircraft, which are also known as Felon in NATO reporting circles, for the purpose of operating against Ukraine in Russian airspace. These jets are typically equipped with long-range missiles. Kiev stated that the aircraft were capable of attacking Ukrainian territory with Kh-59 and Kh-69 missiles. The Ukrainian military has previously reported that Russian forces have employed these weapons against its territory. The Akhtubinsk facility was identified by the UK Defence Ministry as the sole known base for Russia's Su-57 aircraft in January of the previous year. On Friday and Saturday, Ukraine's GUR disclosed satellite imagery that it claimed depicted a intact Su-57 and fire damage surrounding the aircraft on the following day. This imagery was not independently verified by Newsweek. The United Kingdom stated in January 2023 that Russia is likely eager to prevent any reputational damage that could result from the loss of a Su-57 to Ukrainian attacks. The United Kingdom has reported that Russia is employing barges to safeguard the Crimean Bridge. Barges are being employed by Russia to safeguard the Kerch Bridge in Crimea, according to a recent report from the Ministry of Defense, MOD, of the United Kingdom. The Ministry of Defense, MOD, has reported that an analysis of imagery has revealed the presence of 8 vessels on the southern side of the bridge. The ministry believes that these barges may be intended as a defensive measure for the bridge. The Kerch Bridge, which is also referred to as the Kerch Strait Bridge or the Crimean Bridge, is of strategic significance as it bridges the gap between the Russian mainland and Crimea. A detonation from an improvised incendiary device caused damage to the nearly 12-mile road and rail bridge in October 2022. The bridge was once again the target of an attack in July 2023, when 2 explosions resulted in the closure of at least one section of the road bridge. Kiev has committed to conducting additional attacks on the bridge in order to reclaim the peninsula, which Russia invaded and annexed in 2014. This is due to the bridge's function in supplying Moscow's military in southern Ukraine. The installation of the vessels near the bridge commenced on May 10 and concluded on May 22, as per the British MOD. The MOD assessment, which was published on X, formerly Twitter, stated that the Russian forces located these vessels in an effort to defend the bridge and shipping channel, thereby minimizing the angles of approach for Ukrainian unmanned surface vehicles, USV. The intelligence report also stated that the efficacy of the previous barriers that were installed in the area has been diminished as a result of cyclone damage. In October 2023, the Ministry of Defense, MOD, previously disclosed that the Kerch Bridge had been rendered vulnerable by the 2 previous attacks. The Crimean Bridge will remain a vital link in sustaining Russia's occupation of Crimea and its forces in southern Ukraine, the MOD wrote at the time of publication. However, it is now almost certainly a significant security burden requiring multi-domain protection, including the use of air defense systems and crews who would otherwise be deployed elsewhere. The assessment also stated that the ingenuity of Ukraine's military and security services will continue to jeopardize the confidence of Russian officials in their ability to defend this large and vulnerable structure. Barges have also been employed by Russia to safeguard sites in other regions, according to reports. The Ministry of Defense, MOD, announced on March 31 that Russia had deployed 4 barges to monitor the entrance to its Black Sea Fleet base in the port of Novorossiysk. In response to the Ukrainian military's attacks on the Black Sea Fleet's base in the Crimean city of Sevastopol, Russia has relocated a significant number of its naval vessels to Novorossiysk. After a sudden Russian intervention, Ukraine has managed to stabilize the northern region. However, it is currently encountering new challenges in the eastern region. Ukraine has stabilized the northern Kharkiv front following Moscow's offensive a month ago, as a result of the addition of additional weapons and the authorization to employ them to target positions within Russia. However, its forces are being deployed in other locations along the 1,000 kilometers (620 miles) long front line, rendering them vulnerable to Russia's lethal aerial glide munitions. The capacity to strike Russian targets across the border is already having a positive impact, according to a senior officer in Ukraine's security service, SBU, who goes by the call sign Banker and is presently fighting in the Kharkiv region, as reported by CNN. The SBU officer stated, "It is now feasible to execute local counterattack operations and reclaim territories that were, for instance, captured by the enemy a week ago. Ukraine has been restricted in its ability to employ potent Western armaments against Russia for a significant portion of the conflict. Kiev's allies have previously been adamant that their combat weapons must not be used to strike within Russian territory, as they are concerned about provoking Moscow. Consequently, they have restricted their use to targets within Ukraine, including in occupied areas. However, this was altered following the Kharkiv offensive. Initially, European countries, such as France and Germany, permitted Ukraine to target targets within Russia. Subsequently, the United States granted Ukraine permission to deploy its armaments in the vicinity of Kharkiv. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin stated to CNN's Wolf Blitzer, "Our policy regarding the use of long-range strike weaponry to enter Russia has not changed. However, we have granted Ukraine the capacity to counter-fire, to fire back at the Russian troops that are firing at them, and to eliminate their artillery batteries as they are firing at the Ukrainians. I believe that this will be extremely beneficial to Ukraine in the future." According to Yair Cherniv, the deputy chairman of the Ukrainian Parliament's Committee on National Security, Defense, and Intelligence, the U.S. HIMARS system has emerged as the preferred weapon system for striking Russian positions. The Russians have reduced the frequency of firing S-300 and S-400 missile systems at the Kharkiv region in response to the threat posed by HIMARS. However, glide munitions continue to be a concern. These are launched from an altitude that exceeds the capabilities of Ukrainian defenses. Cherniv, in reference to a long-range missile system, stated, "Unfortunately, we do not yet have permission to use ATACMS missiles on Russian territory and to hit Russian aircraft at airfields with American weapons. As a result, we have yet to resolve the issue of glide bomb strikes on our territory." Bombing attacks continue to occur in Kharkiv and other border regions, resulting in a significant number of civilian fatalities.